For our December Teen Spotlight, we're doing a homemade holiday gift for your homemade family. It's holiday season, and while the end of the year can be a joyful time, it can also be very stressful for a number of reasons. There are lots of tests and exams going on in school, lots of activities going on, and making time for family and friends in between everything. Families come in all shapes and sizes, and sometimes families can be stressful too. Maybe they don't accept you for who you are, and maybe you're not part of a traditional family. Many people, and maybe you too, have people close to you who aren't related but are very much like family. This is what we call a found family. People you found who you can trust and rely on, share things with, turn to, and do life with. Today, we want to celebrate found family members with a cute and very affordable homemade gift you can make for those who mean the most to you with stuff you probably already have. And we'll also share some tips to help you make the most of your time with your favorite people and share some resources if you're in need of support during the holidays.
Hello, my name is Kat and I work at the main library downtown in Columbus, Ohio. Of course, today we're going to show you some inexpensive ways to make snowflakes to give away to your found family members. There's two ways we can do this, and we're going to show you both. And I have a lovely assistant today, Essie. Essie and I are going to make you some snowflakes, and we're going to start the first one. If you have the fancy glitter glue, you can make snowflakes that look like that. But maybe you don't have the fancy glitter glue at your house, but you might have plain old glue and table salt. That's just the stuff that you put on your food every day. And we're going to use that, and then we're going to need something to tie it, make it an ornament or a decoration with. And it could be something as simple as yarn, inexpensive embroidery floss. It could be a chenille stick, or sometimes people still call these pipe cleaners. Or it could just be a basic string, or even a twist tie-up of something that will work just fine for you. Included with our Teen Spotlight today is also the tags that you can print out from our site, and we have some examples like that you can cut out and add to them, or you can make your own with some paper and some markers or crayons or pencils as well. Okay. Essie has a drawing of a snowflake. And this one we printed out from the computer, but you can actually just draw them yourself. Just remember, those snowflakes are six-sided. You want to make sure that there's some sort of design element that allows you to hook the string to it, so something that goes all the way around. Ideally, you're supposed to use wax paper to make these, but since we didn't have any wax paper, we just used a found object, which is just a page protector sheet. Anything that's going to have a non-stick surface that's transparent. It can just be a piece of a wrapper off of something, even as long as it lays flat and you can see right through it. So as you can see, Essie is just tracing her pattern with the glitter glue. All right, and then it's going to take a good day or so to get that solidified. And a good way to check to make sure everything is connecting is just to move it away from your pattern. And then we can see where Essie needs to fill in a little bit so that everything is connected, so it'll all stay connected when we pull it off the sheet of plastic in a day or so. Now Essie has her finished snowflake, and she's going to decide what she wants to hook on to it. All right, and then you're going to pick a tag from the printed sheet. All right, and then my recommendation is to take a hole punch and punch a hole in the end of it. Oh, wait. Get your yarn through that. Okay, so Essie, when you're going to use the real glue, you're going to want to go in a bigger size format. So this is about a 5 to 6 inch snowflake pattern, because the glue will spread in ways that like the traditional glue will spread much farther than the glitter glue does. The glitter glue is much more viscous, it's thicker, so it stays much more on your pattern, where the glue itself will spread out. Sometimes when you're making, I always recommend to make it a few, because sometimes what happens is that the glue kind of runs together and it fills those pretty holes. And sometimes a little bit's not bad, it looks very pretty that way, but sometimes when it gets to be too much, it doesn't look great. So I discovered that I wanted to kind of have that glitter effect or frosty effect, but I didn't have any glitter. So what I ended up using, and hopefully it shows up on camera, was I added a little bit of salt. I gave it this really kind of neat, frosty, snowy sort of look to the snowflake, okay? So this is the pattern that I used for this one. Once again, we want to make sure there's some sort of hole to put our string through, to put our gift in.
Does it have to be like this thick?
You actually want it to be a little bit thinner than the pattern on the paper, okay?
Wait. Oh, so don't have it like this thick so the glue won't spread?
Yeah, so you want to be a little bit thinner than what this
Yeah.
pattern looks like.
Okay.
All right,
So
you
don't
just
have to
gotta
be
kind of fill
thick?
it. No, you
Okay.
want to just fill it in a little bit thinner. And then you're just going to use the glue and follow along and trace along those lines. I always recommend you try a little bit of glue, you know, to put a little glue somewhere else, just to make sure it's coming out in the stream that you're happy with. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, do you remember your trick?
Yeah.
Move it off the design and see where you missed connecting the lines. It looks so pretty against the blue paper.
And that part too.
Yeah. Awesome. And now the hard part, Essie. Waiting. So I would say give it at least a day and a half, maybe even 2 days to dry someplace safe and someplace flat. And then, through the magic of television, see if it's stuck together. We will pretend that it's all done. Look at that. And then once again, you can pick something to tie it with. Maybe you might want to try the. So the really fun thing about pipe cleaners is, you can twist them, and then you can make them into cute little really cute. And even if you're not happy, you can kind of undo them because they're wire. Just kind of make it look more like a present or something. Well. That's cute. Yeah. And Essie, what does this one say?
Mine says, you're the one of a kind.
A couple more tips for making your snowflakes. If you do have glitter, but you don't have glitter glue, you can make your snowflake and do a little bit of glitter on top while it's still wet, and you get kind of more of this effect. This one is one that's been free-handed, so it looks like this. So while every snowflake is unique, I would recommend either using a printout or drawing your snowflake before you just go ahead and freehand it. But you know, you can always try it and see what happens. And I also recommend that occasionally they break. And the great thing about things that break that are made from glue is that you can actually easily glue back together. So this snowflake has been broken, I think, 5 different times in 5 different places. And because I've glued it back together, it just kind of gets more artsy and more unique the more times I kind of piece it back together. So don't panic if your snowflake breaks before you get to give it to somebody. Although I do recommend being very delicate with them. Of course, you also want to remember to keep those lines nice and thin if you're using the real glue, because they do spread. And of course, but you do want to make sure, once again, I think we talked about with Essie, you want to always make sure that everything connects. And so make sure you do that thing where you move it away and make sure that everything connects. Otherwise, it's not going to hold together. Okay? Those are just some extra tips. All right. Have fun making those for your found family.
Here are just a few tips to help you stay connected with your found family during the holidays. Meet in person if possible and turn off electronics while you're together. Practice mindfulness. Be present in the moment. Be patient with others. End of year wrap up may mean time is limited. Create your own traditions. Plan video calls if you can't get together in person. Throw a watch party or a virtual game night. Spend time with people who get you. Take a walk. Attend a library program together. And remember to take time for yourself when you need to. And if you need extra support during the holidays or anytime, we've provided a list of resources where you can reach out for help. You'll find it linked below in this video. You can check out more monthly Teen Spotlight videos like this one at columbuslibrary.org/teens. Thanks for joining us.